Remember the time when we were young, and we would always be asked about what we want to become when we're older. We were asked about our stream of income when we couldn't even afford a bag of gum ourselves. Of course, back then, we'd always come up with insane ideas that usually comes out of our premature minds. Spontaneous and crazy. Simple times. Looking back, the question we were asked then still kind of resonates and will continue to through our adulthood. Was this the answer to the question asked 20 years ago? What led me here? Now that we're older, that one simple question seemed to have branched out to 100 more questions, and following the pattern would only lead us into a rabbit hole. What questions do we ask ourselves now? Introspection is key in this regard. We look at ourselves in the mirror. Do we see our 10-year-old selves? Or do we see ourselves at 60? We all set out to be the best versions of ourselves. Looking in and looking out through the looking glass of life. Feeling stuck? That's when you should listen to the much cliched phrase, "You're never too old." Personally, I adhere to that notion. Stan Lee, the creator of the world-famous Marvel Universe, didn't write his first hit comic until he was 39. Martha Stewart didn't find real success until the age of 41. Colonel Sanders officially started KFC when he turned 40 and began franchising at age 65. Plenty of other examples out there. These are just a few. The main takeaway from their success story is the possession of patience and persistency. Patience and persistency are important attributes to possess no matter what field you're in. When we have them, 50% of the battle is already won. The next step is setting goals and systems. Goals are good to have, and I bet everyone has them. But how we achieve them is the challenging part. The steps we take, and how much time and effort we put in. At the initial stage, we would all be overwhelmed. However, that's when systems come in. James Clear, the popular author of Atomic Habits, aptly put it, quote, "Goals are good for setting a direction, but systems are best for making progress." In order to make progress, we need a roadmap with checkpoints that tells us about our progression. A set of systems here is that roadmap. The how-tos of the world, the blueprint of success. Set systems. For example, your goal is to become an excellent musician. First off, you buy your instrument. Then you learn the chords and the chord shapes, followed by the introduction to the dreaded scales, and so on. Practicing daily, putting in the time and effort you're willing to put in. Over time, you will eventually achieve your goal of becoming a decent musician. If I can give you one advice, it's this. Start. Just sitting and contemplating on thoughts of when and what if will get you nowhere. I'm sure you have goals like everybody else, but you're dreading the execution part. Just do it. Plan, set systems, set a timeline. Each step you take will get you one step closer to success. Remember, it's never too late. Don't listen to the pessimism of your subconscious. Otherwise, you'll believe it to be fate. Instead, use systems to rid the false narrative. See you at the pinnacle.